ChatGPT became so popular in such a short amount of time, and there's a good reason why. If you haven't heard about ChatGPT yet, you must be living under a rock or something, because essentially, ChatGPT is an extremely powerful AI language model that is developed by OpenAI, and it's designed to generate text in a conversational style, and so it can be used for a variety of tasks. It uses deep learning algorithms to generate text, and the model is pre-trained on a large dataset of text, which allows it to give responses that are very similar to what you would expect from a real human. And because of the ginormous potential this AI has, recently Microsoft got in talks to acquire a 49% stake of OpenAI worth $10 billion, and that is huge for both Microsoft and the company behind ChatGPT as well, because this would be a massive growth for both companies. And not many people talk about this, but the future that ChatGPT and OpenAI have is extremely bright due to this massive spike in interest in this AI language model that caused an insane amount of people to go to their website and test out the capabilities of ChatGPT themselves. And even though ChatGPT works extremely well, there is still a lot to be improved, because its knowledge is limited to 2021, sometimes can easily get confused and give you a weird response, and the information is not 100% trustworthy. And these millions of people typing various questions every day and trying their best to find something outside of the capabilities of ChatGPT actually give a lot of data to the OpenAI team to work with and improve their product tremendously because of that. And they get all this data for absolutely free. If I go to openai.com and pull up the similar web extension, you can see the massive spike in monthly visits from 18 million in November to 300 million in December. That's an insane amount of prompts that this AI chatbot has to handle, and I believe many of them are these kinds of prompts that you would have probably never thought of asking ChatGPT. And all this absurd amount of data will improve the output by a lot. But how we can use ChatGPT to make money with crypto, you might be wondering. Well, you might be surprised, but this AI can write codes with ease. And you know what you can do if you know how to code, right? Pretty much everything. But I don't want to waste more time, and I actually want to show you ChatGPT in action, and I'll explain you everything as I go through the prompts and all that. So to get access to this AI, you have to go to openai.com, and here on the top you will see this banner with this button that says try. When you click on that, if you don't have an account, you have to create one, and it's super simple. It probably takes like 2 minutes, or you can also sign in with your Google account. It's up to you. But when you finally get access to ChatGPT, this is what you're gonna see. And here on the bottom, you will see this box where you're gonna put your prompts. One thing that I like the most, and I think that's the reason it makes this AI so powerful, is that you can literally ask ChatGPT about anything without having any knowledge in this field and without using the specific terms that are tied to that field. So you can be completely uneducated and still find out everything you need. So in terms of crypto, we all know that in order to make money, you have to buy low and sell high, right? Even though it usually happens the opposite. Whenever you buy, the price starts to go down. We know that the idea is to buy the bottom and sell the top, but in fact, this is not easy at all. And even though I've never recommended trading on my channel, because most people lose money trading, I do swing trading from time to time, and I made quite a lot of money by doing so. And for those of you who don't know, swing trading is very different than day trading, where in day trading you open and close your position within a day, while in swing trading, the time frame is usually much bigger. I typically hold my positions for a month or so. It depends on the charts and what's going on with the macro, of course. And despite this being a very easy way to make a lot of money, I still don't recommend for most of you to trade, because you will most likely lose money, especially now during the bear market. However, I want to share with you how powerful ChatGPT can be and how we can get much better entries and exits while trading crypto. Also, I'm gonna share with you in the end a very smart way you can make money with ChatGPT and crypto without even having to trade. So arguably, this could be even more profitable in the long run, so stay until the end for that. But now, let's have a look at what we can actually do with ChatGPT to improve our trading performance. Most of you probably know that some of the main indicators that every trader uses are MACD and RSI, where MACD stands for Moving Average Convergence/Divergence, and it's calculated by subtracting the 26-period EMA, or Exponential Moving Average, from the 12-period EMA. And RSI stands for Relative Strength Index, and it measures the speed and change of price movements. The RSI can go between 0 and 100, and traditionally, the RSI is considered overbought when it goes above 70 and oversold when it's below 30. So generally speaking, when the RSI is around or below 30, is usually a good time to buy, and when it's around or above 70, it is a good time to sell. But wouldn't it be great if we can create our own indicators that give us a bit more information? Well, that's what I want to talk about in this video, because ChatGPT can do that for us for absolutely free in a matter of minutes. So I'm gonna go back to ChatGPT, and the first thing I'm going to prompt is something very simple. simple, like to generate a pinescript for a moving average of the closing price with a period of 7 days. This is a very simple task and it should handle it with ease. As you can see, ChatGPT wrote the code in less than a minute, and not only that, but it also explained everything in the code so we can better understand what's what. I'm gonna copy that code from this button right here, and I'm gonna go to TradingView and paste that code in the Pine editor. You can find the Pine editor here at the bottom, and once you click on it, this window will pop up where we can paste our code. But just so you can see it better, I'm gonna click this button here to make the panel bigger, and then I'm gonna delete all that, and I'm just gonna paste the code that ChatGPT gave us. And once we have it pasted, in order to apply it, you just have to click this button that says Add to Chart. And so here at the bottom, we can see whether the code is working or not. And as you can see, it gives us this error that says the script must have one study or strategy function call. But how we can fix that? We have no idea how to include that study or strategy function call. Well, we don't have to, because we're just gonna copy that error and we're gonna go back to ChatGPT, and all we need to do is to let ChatGPT know that we have an error from the code provided, and ChatGPT gonna fix the error for us. So I'm just gonna say the code gives me this error, and I'm gonna paste the code. Again, we just have to wait for a few seconds and we'll get everything sorted. ChatGPT immediately identified what is causing the error, and right away it gave us a fixed version of the code. It also explains the study function and why we got this error in the first place. But what I'm gonna do is, I'm just gonna copy this new code, I'll go back to TradingView, click on this icon to expand the panel again, and just paste the new code on top. We just have to click on Add to Chart again, and as you can see, this time there's no issue and we got the 7-day moving average. And if you want to change the time period, you just have to go back to the pinescript, and here on the third line, you just have to change the number from 7 to 14 days, let's say, and again, just click Add to Chart, and there you have it. Oops, it says 7 days again because I forgot to change the title in the code. So I'm just gonna go back, and wherever says 7 days, I'm gonna change it to 14 so we don't get confused when we look at the chart. And there you go, as simple as that. You now have the 7 and 14 days simple moving average without having any coding skills whatsoever. And if you want to pull up another moving average, you just go back to the pinescript and change the days to 30, for example. And don't forget to change the title as well so you know what's what. And right away, you have the 30-day moving average as well. But these are some very simple things, and ChatGPT is capable of doing much more complicated stuff. For example, we can build an indicator that will identify good times to buy and sell, or if you prefer it this way, good times to go long and short. However, I would never recommend you mess up with shorting and leverage and all that kind of stuff, because you can blow up your account super quickly. So I'm just gonna stick with going long, or in other words, just simply buying and selling. And so what we're gonna do is, again, we're just simply gonna go to ChatGPT and prompt whatever we need. So in this case, I'm gonna ask ChatGPT to generate me a pinescript strategy for a 1-minute moving average crossover on Bitcoin using moving averages of 12 and 60. And there you go. It writes the code with ease, and it also gives us brief explanation at the end, just so we are informed what this code is all about. So all I'm gonna do is, I'm just gonna copy the code now, go back to TradingView, and of course go to the Pine editor down at the bottom, and I'm gonna paste that code right here, and just gonna press the Add to Chart button. Right away, you can see that we have a fairly profitable trading strategy. And that is for what? Like 2 minutes? And you don't need to be an expert in trading and have a bunch of experience. We can clearly say that on every single occasion that we have a signal for going long or short for this time frame, we would have been in profit if we made a trade. And let me just choose a shorter time frame so we can have more signals to work with and compare the performance. As you can see, we are still in the green, but the performance is not great by any means, and that should not surprise you, of course. But if I switch to 1-hour candles, you can see that this indicator is actually not giving us very profitable signals. So the time frame does matter, and you always have to look at the strategy tester down here to see how good or bad a certain indicator is performing. And when I switch back to 1-day candles, you can see the massive difference in the profit. And in my opinion, this indicator can be actually very useful, especially if you are looking more into some swing trading from time to time. But apart from all that, I want to clarify that many times ChatGPT won't give you perfectly working code, and that heavily depends on the prompt that you make. If you don't give enough information to ChatGPT, most of the time you simply won't get a good result. So it's crucial to give as many details as possible in your prompt in order to get exactly what is in your mind as a potential outcome. So to give you an example of that, I'm gonna try to create a more complex indicator, combining 2 variables, and I'm gonna go with the RSI and the volume. So 2 conditions must be met in order for the signal to be triggered on the chart. Of course, that's not extremely complicated, but it's not super simple as well. So I'm basically asking ChatGPT to generate me a pinescript for buy and sell signals based on the RSI RSI and the volume. And what I give as a reference is when the RSI is above 35, and I made a mistake here, I should have said when it's below 35 instead, but whatever. So when the RSI is above 35 and the volume is above 50%, that should indicate a buy signal on the chart. And when the RSI is above 65 and the volume is below 50%, it should indicate a sell signal. So I didn't give a great prompt to ChatGPT, but the point of this video is not to create the best indicator ever, but to show you how ChatGPT works and what you can do with it. And so from here, I'm just gonna copy the code again, go back to TradingView, delete all that and paste the new code. As you can see here at the bottom, we got a lot of errors. And if you have no clue about coding, all you can get from this is that there is an issue with the volume and that's it. You'll have no idea what the issue exactly is and how to fix it. But luckily, all we have to do is just copy all the errors and ask ChatGPT to fix them. Just like you would have sent a message to an actual developer in a natural language. I have these errors from the code, please fix them. And ChatGPT will identify what's wrong right away and it will fix it. So it generated me the new code and I'm gonna copy that again. And as you can see, when I paste it in the Pine editor and apply it, it gives me errors again. So ChatGPT is definitely not perfect, and in most cases that is because we didn't provide a detailed prompt. So what do we do in this case? Well, we're gonna copy the errors again and we're gonna tell ChatGPT that we have errors again and we need them to be fixed. It generates us the new code and we go back to the Pine editor on TradingView, and unfortunately there's still something wrong with the code. So I'm gonna do this one more time, and apart from just saying that there's an error, fix the code, I'll try to add something else, so I might trigger a different outcome. And as you can see, we now got rid of the big set of errors and we have only one that says the script must have one study or strategy function call. So that's a big improvement. I'm gonna copy that again and I'll go back to ChatGPT and ask for a fix. So now it looks like we might get a working code after going back and forth for a couple of times. So I'm gonna copy that code and paste it again in the Pine editor, and as you can see, we have an error again saying no viable alternative at input if. Try to add this line version equals 2 to the top of the script. So basically, you just need to speak English in order to figure out what's going on and to be able to fix it yourself. No coding skills at all. It literally says what and where to put it. So I'm gonna expand this panel and go to the top of the code and make some space from that line and put this version equals 2. And voila, it's finally working. Now, even though it seems like a profitable strategy and we will certainly buy the lows and sell the highs in most cases, we can see that these signals are more for a shorter time frame, and if you are this kind of trader, that's fine. But me personally, as I already said, I'm not into this almost day trading type of thing because it's just too risky and it's not for me. But this is certainly a useful indicator and we generated it completely from scratch in just a couple of minutes. Actually, I just had an idea in my mind and all I did is prompt ChatGPT to realize it with a few revisions. Now, these should not be the indicators you want to follow to make your financial decisions by any means. The main purpose of this video was to showcase how useful ChatGPT can be and what we can create having absolutely zero knowledge of coding. But I promise that I will give you a very smart way at the end of the video that you can make money with ChatGPT without even having to trade crypto. And like I already said, this might be even more profitable in the long run because you don't put your own capital at risk betting whether the market will go up or down. So what I'm talking about is you can sit for a few days and play around with ChatGPT to generate you different indicators and create a strategy combining one or two already existing indicators like what I did with the RSI and the volume, and basically create a super profitable indicator based on the past performance that you can see on the chart. For example, you can ask ChatGPT to generate you a pinescript for a strategy that will trigger a buy signal when the RSI is below 35, and let's say we have a MACD crossover, or you can play around with the different percentages of the volume, or maybe include the RSI, the MACD crossover and the volume. You know, I'm just throwing some random things, but you can actually create something unique, and the best part is you can actually test how profitable this strategy would be without putting any money into testing. You can just observe the past data and evaluate the performance. And so once you find a successful formula, what you can do is you can actually save this indicator and start selling it just like that. You have the proof that the indicator is signaling good buy and sell signals and it's actually profitable. And what better reason you can give to someone to purchase it? Of course, you can choose whether you want to sell this indicator for a one-time fee or to be subscription based, where people interested in using it can pay you a small fee of let's say $10 every month, and you can have a consistent income which is all profit. And the best thing is you can always expand this even further by creating more indicators again with ChatGPT for absolutely free, which will be useful in different scenarios. For example, one indicator can be more profitable in bear markets, another one can can give you better results in bull markets, or maybe create one that will do well when the market goes sideways. You know, there are so many different scenarios that you can go to ChatGPT and develop an indicator for, and make so much money without even having to trade yourself. And that's just one tiny fraction of the ginormous potential this AI language model has. With its almost unlimited capabilities, if you are a bit creative and able to think outside of the box, you can create so many different things and monetize ChatGPT in so many different ways. But like I said, this is just one of the probably thousands of applications for this AI, and I will continue to talk about ChatGPT and other AI companies on my channel, and I will do my best to provide as much value as possible by giving you different ideas to make money with these AI tools. So if this is something you're interested in, make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss that out. And you can also tap the like button if you think this video provides any value to you. If you want to learn more in depth how to use ChatGPT, you can watch this video next that popped up on the screen. But that's it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.